Fighters are teaming up all the time in Dragon Ball Z. Now players can team up in the real world too.
The ARG Circuit Series is proud to present Team Wars.
ARG will track your 6-person team's progress throughout the entire Dragon Ball Series circuit event. They'll tally the scores for each team through the finals. Teams earn points for every win. Each team accumulates points for their team every round. A win nets you 3 points, a draw 1 point, no points for a loss. The 2 highest scoring teams will face off on ARG's Twitch channel after the Circuit Series main event live.
Each team can have a maximum of 6 players, and each player must wear a matching shirt or jersey. For a full list of rules and prizes, go to argcircuitseries.com and look for Team Wars under the Dragon Ball Super category. A saying has no limits. Do you? Prove to the world that your team is the best by participating at the ARG Circuit Series Team Wars.
Hey guys, what is up? And welcome to ARG Presents Dragon Ball Super Regionals here at beautiful San Jose, California. We have 2 amazing players yet again. On the left, the green player, we have Anthony Hernandez playing Mecha Frieza Apes. On the right, we have Danny Hype playing SS3 Goku. Such a fantastic deck. It's red-yellow Goku, actually. This was one of 3 non-mecha decks that made it to top. And this is actually Danny's first top 16 as well, representing KitchenTableMeta. And like I said, on the left, we have Anthony Hernandez, 23rd seed, representing Anthony's saved team, I believe is what it's called, or the one of the DBZ gods. You know, both players YouTube content creators, and so it's great. You know, they both know each other very well. Provide us with some amazing content. Check them both out on YouTube. Danny Hype on YouTube and Anthony Hernandez on All About You. Excited to see how this match goes. Now, Danny's Hype was actually designed to beat Mecha Apes. Now, whether or not that's the case, I know Danny said he's had kind of mixed results in the Swiss rounds, where I think he took down the majority of apes, so he did lose to I think 1 or maybe even 2 apes. So, you know, the thing about Mecha Apes, or actually just Mecha in general, I think one of the reasons that really led to its errata was, you know, sometimes Mecha just has those turns where there's nothing you can really do. And I think against those games, sometimes it is really hard. Now, what Danny's deck wants to do, though, is it wants to put you in a situation where, you know, Mecha awakens, they draw their cards, they get a bunch of cards in hand, they're all good to go. And he just drops Chain Attack into Zeno to just take your hand away. And at that point, it's actually hard for Mecha to defend, especially Mecha Apes. Now, obviously, the kind of bane of that play, or the bane of that idea, has always been Cold Bellust. Well, the reason why Danny runs yellow in the deck is for Bad Ring Laser. So you can Bad Ring Laser the Cold Bellust and resolve that Chain Attack Trunks, allowing Zeno to come into play. And it can be very devastating. Like I said, it can be a situation where, you know, Anthony, as a Mecha Frieza player, it's hard for him to come back from that. All right, so we have Anthony here just doing Mecha Frieza things. Turn 1, he, you know, is about to awaken. Draw 2 cards. He's going to have, you know, I think it's usually around 14 to 15 cards in hand turn 1 when this kind of situation happens. So, all right, let's see what Anthony decides to do here. Just drawing so many cards. Again, though, Danny being able to play Chain Attack Trunks the turn after next can maybe bait out a Cold Bloodlust, force Anthony to have to take another life, pressure him from there. Unfortunately, off of Danny's energy here, Danny did hit 2 very important cards in the matchup. He hit not only Chain Attack Trunks, which is one of the win cons, but also Topo, which is a great card for him to kind of advance his board. So here comes Bulbasaur's energy. Danny's going to use that for Planet Vegeta. He's going to be able to search the deck and get 1 4-cost stand. He's going to immediately get Kaba. Now, this is part of Danny's Awakening condition, right? This is one of the cards that allows Danny to go from 6 life off of the Goku ability to 4 life, which is what he needs to do to awaken. And once SS3 Goku's awakened, that's when he puts a lot of pressure on his opponent. And it's one of the coolest things that kind of, in my opinion, SS3 Goku is one of the most powerful awakened leaders, where actually Mecha, one of the weaker awakened leaders, especially as his life dwindles. Now, the cool thing about Kaba is Kaba puts a lot of pressure on his opponent. 15k double strike right now is pretty devastating. Now, Anthony can Cold Bloodlust this, and I think that's what Danny's waiting on. It's not a bad idea. If Anthony Bloodlusts this, it will cost him a life or an energy. However, it will stop Danny from awakening. Right now, Jim, we're at top 16. Yeah, we have a match going here on Twitch and a match.
Schedule the finals.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're only top 16.
Huh? Yeah, we're top 16.
Top 8, top 4.
Yeah.
Like 3 more hours.
Yeah, probably. Probably like 3 more hours, yeah. Hey guys, sorry about that. I had to talk to Jim for a second. Bandai is wanting us to schedule the finals, essentially get an idea when they're going to be up so they can kind of they want to get an idea of when the finals are coming. So
I want to tell Bandai too.
Ham sandwich, turkey?
is it hot dog's fine. It's cheap. It's cheaper, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Guys, give me 1 second. I'm gonna mute this real quick. I'm sorry. Hey guys, sorry about that. I apologize. We had Jim come up and talk to us. Bandai is actually going to come and watch. They want to watch the finals live here at a beautiful San Jose. They want to come watch the match be played, which is really cool. So we're trying to get an idea of when the finals would be, about what time to be around here. You know, I think we're thinking around maybe 2 p.m. if everything goes as scheduled. So I had to do a little talk with the head judge and Jim there to kind of get an idea of when we think that would happen. So apologize for that. Let's get back into the play now. Anthony already down to 2 life right now. 2 life to Danny's 6 life. I was about to say 16. It'd be a whole bunch of life. But yeah, pretty good position for Danny to be in. Danny actually has a lot of cards that can pressure Anthony. Okay, Danny's swinging in here with Kaba. Gets a Piccolo off that. That's actually a good card. It's unplayable right now for Danny, but still a good card. Looks like Danny does have no openings Goku, which he's going to play to go up to 25k. This does pressure the ape and awaken Danny. Awakening here is huge. That is huge for Danny. Now, this is great because what this will do is if he can get this ape off the field, it's going to make it so it's really going to be really hard for Anthony to pressure Danny next turn. It's going to set Danny up to a situation where Danny can actually drop Zeno here. Not this turn, but next turn. Chain attacking Zeno with Cold Bellus backup is what this puts him in. So right now I think Anthony's trying to talk about, you know, I think right now they're just take a check to read the card, make sure, see how it works. Yeah, right now I think Anthony was just making sure that, you know, see if maybe if the card was going to come into play or how the life interaction works. Maybe asking a little bit about how it might work with Cold Bellus, those type of things. Which I love. I love at the top level, you know, of play. These players, and I think it's something that casual players make a mistake on a lot, where they think it's kind of like unprofessional or it's not a good idea to ask what cards do or take a second to read the cards. And even at high level play, these players still take time to read the cards, make sure they know what the cards do before they decide to make their play. So yeah, it's never ever be afraid to take a look at your cards. So here what I think happened was Anthony was asking, okay, so now we see what's going to, so Anthony was asking, if I kill this card, if I kill Kaba, do you still get the combo effect? Was the question. And it looks like the judge ruled yes, so he does still get the combo effects. Now we figured it out. That was the question. Very good question by Anthony, because that could have definitely changed what was going to happen there. Okay, so here Danny is attacking 15k. Just going to get snap blocked by Anthony here.
We're back, boys.
Here's George back. Got us some hot dogs.
We're back.
Got us some food.
We got the spicy Super Saiyan 3 deck.
I love it, dude.
One of the Super Saiyan 3s, I know Ryan Phillips, he just got eliminated, unfortunately.
Okay.
Wasn't very aware about how time worked, and he took
Oh, no.
super devastating. Last turn of time, he just took, they were both at 2 life. He took the leader swing, no combo or anything on it. And he's like, oh, yeah, just kill him next turn, you know? I was like, oh. It's not how it works. It's not how it works in Swiss, because in Swiss it's until somebody dies.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he was, unfortunately, had to learn the hard way, and that's usually why you want to, just ask the stream judge, like, exactly. I know the
it's
time
actually-
procedures, but tell me the time procedure.
It's actually funny you just said that, because we literally were just talking about
Really?
that. We were just talking about that, where it's like, it's okay to ask questions.
Yes.
And I think a lot of new players feel like if they come to an event and they ask a question, they're going to be like ridiculed, or people are going to be like,
scrub.
how did you know? How you don't know what the card does, or But Anthony literally just read a card, looked at it. He's a top 16 player, one of the best players in the game. Looked at the card, read it, asked the judge how the interaction worked, talked it over with the opponent, then made a play. And that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Don't ever feel bad for asking. It looks like what Danny's trying to do right here is win the game. He's
Already?
playing. Yeah, he's trying to do double strike
How much did I
Gohan.
miss?
Not a whole lot really. It's just kind of how the interaction goes. So this is 35K, what appears to be 35K double strike. Can Anthony stop this? Looks like the problem here is Danny doesn't have access to his Zeno. This is actually a really smart play by Danny, because
I mean, Anthony could just have the Shigesh combo now.
he could, but he's already used it. He's already used one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he knows that the majority of combo cards in Ape's deck are one costs. And Anthony is tapped out. Is this going to be game? I don't know. I mean, Anthony's taking a long time thinking here. I guess what Anthony could do here, though, is just pressure Anthony to have to use King Vegeta's, which is a little bit of a win. The only problem I see here is that I feel like Danny is in a situation. Nope, he uses it, so he had it. Okay.
Yeah, he did have it. And that's pretty unfortunate for Danny, because now he loses 3 cards on that swing. Potentially 4, because that Gohan could have netted him a card, but he chose not to.
Yeah, I actually like that play, though. You force your opponent to have it, and I think that that's really good. He's already used two Shigeshas. He's at 2 life.
Now, what your opponent? I mean, you pretty much safely assume that your opponent doesn't have a third one, so
Right.
the next one
Yeah.
should be lethal.
Right, and Danny has a Jiren in hand. A Topo in hand. So he has a play this turn. Plus he has Crusher Ball. So yeah, I mean, I think that's fine. I think it's a really smart play. I think Danny needs to get a Zeno in hand, though, and I think that's what that play was designed to do.
Yeah.
Was to put pressure with Piccolo in order to dig further in his deck. So it serves like a dual purpose. It's like I want to pressure the game on you, and I'm also going to dig in my deck, try to find the Zeno. Anthony can't play March here. I mean, Anthony can, but if Anthony plays March, he goes to 1 life. That's scary. Against an SS3 Goku deck that can put so much pressure on you.
Pretty interesting how pressured the Mecha deck is already on 3 energy versus a much slower out the gates Super Saiyan 3 deck.
Yeah. Danny's sitting at 4 life, 3 open energy, just like, hey, what are you going to do?
That extra energy from the start really helps.
Oh, it
That
does.
Super Saiyan 3 Goku.
It does.
Just get on.
Does
it.
Anthony's deck run objection? I don't think I've seen objections at all. He must not run them.
I don't believe so, no.
So here comes Topo.
No, there wouldn't be any space because he's playing Father Sons.
You're right.
And he's playing.
So he's playing more like defensive cards instead of acceleration cards. All right. So you're making like your mirror match better, maybe, but you're making like your like SS3 match a little worse, maybe. Is that how the design's going? Which you're probably not prepared. I mean, there's only 3 of those in the deck, so I think that's the right choice by Anthony, right? You want to make your mirror matches like your Mecha mirror matches better. Oh. Anthony just attacking. Danny going to take that hit, which makes me think he is really trying to dig in his life.
I mean,
If Danny takes this hits,
if you have 4, you're usually okay. As long as crit's not hitting you, you're okay.
yeah,
But he took this.
he topo that.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
Yeah,
So stop the critical hits and then take the ones that you could afford to take.
Yeah,
But if Danny's going for game next turn, he wants to get down as low as possible.
Right.
So ideally, Danny wants to go down to 1 and then kill Anthony next turn. But
Right.
I don't even think when I was looking at Anthony's deck list, I don't think I saw the find him as.
I think Danny's just digging, man. He's just trying to find some sort of pitching Crusher Ball.
Fixing it up now, but here's the brackets.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, so we do have a challenge bracket. We'll link that in chat here as soon as this this match is over, and then we will post up this challenge bracket so you guys can follow at home. I am going to stream. I think I'm going to stream the finals on my cell phone internet. We're just going to do it.
Yep.
Yeah,
because Bandai's gonna be watching.
Right.
Too.
Yeah, we don't want to. I don't think they can shut us down that much. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we'll be like, oh, Bandai's right here.
Yeah.
Can't do anything. We got immunity.
Right. Diplomatic immunity.
Kamehameha. They're like just straight up like Super Saiyan on them.
We'll see. We'll see if we can sneak it in. If that trash Lady Girls comes back though, I'm just like, I'm gonna just walk off. I'm like, where's your radio? Where's the bug?
Where's your radio? I know you're tracking us somehow.
So Danny has Fearless Pan in hand. Making this Topo 25k is actually a huge deal against Apes. Topo, one of the best cards against Apes, as long as it doesn't get Shigeshed, Baby Goku, which is going to be very unlikely. I think Anthony only runs 3 Baby Goku in the deck, and he's already used 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it's pretty unlikely.
The chances of him having it are very low, but you never know.
No, yeah, I mean, it's not 0, so it's a risk.
You got to strike. You got to have. You got to take some risks to win the game.
Yeah. All right, I didn't see what Danny drew. Maybe it looked like kind of like a Crusher Ball. No, Zeno. He got the Zeno.
Oh,
okay,
no
that's
way.
huge. That's huge. That is actually huge. Drawing that Zeno is like, oh, you're right. I mean, drawing that Zeno is a pretty big deal. It's pretty good. Zen KO. Zen KO, baby. Zen KO. What are you gonna do? But does he have the trunks in hand? That's what I can't see.
He comboed away. He comboed away 2 trunks last turn when he was trying to strike. Yeah, no, he doesn't have it. What he does have is double copies of the Unbreakable Son Goku.
Unbreakable's really good here. You Unbreakable go up to 30k. That's going to take a lot of cards out of Anthony's hand, but I think Anthony will probably respond to you. The thing is, though, if Anthony responds...
What was that?
I don't know. I didn't see it. It was so fast. It was the fastest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was probably King Vegeta, though, right? It almost has to be, right?
It had to be something that cost no energy.
I was going to say, like 0, like 3 drop.
Oh, like
King
a King Vegeta.
Yeah.
Oh, 3 drop. Okay, I thought you meant like 8 King Vegeta.
And here it comes. He got it.
Ooh, bad ring.
You hate to see that as Anthony. There goes his hand.
He had it?
Yeah. I guess he either had it or he drew it off of the
probably,
SS
I'm
attack. But I'm pretty sure he had it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it does look similar to the determined.
It does. It looks very similar.
So. Oh man, that's gonna be devastating here. Anthony's got like at least 8 cards in hand.
Anthony has a small novel in hand, as we talk about. Chapter 1 being it's going back to the library. You know what I mean? Jeez.
That's not 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He had 9 cards in hand. That just sucks. Like when
That does
you have 9
suck.
cards in hand, you get Zeno. Jesus.
And really, now it comes down to what does Danny draw? Anthony is at 1 life, and they're both going to 5 cards in hand. Though, you know what? He had to have drawn that card off SS3. Why would you attack with Goku? Why would you attack with Goku if you didn't? Right?
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Crusher Ball Topo, not bad. Crusher Ball Topo, gonna go 15k in. Crusher Ball Topo, Planet Vegeta, pretty bad 5 actually.
Really bad.
Pretty bad 5 for Danny. He's not gonna have the ability, I don't think, to
Push.
combo any. Bad Ring Laser, yeah, it's a terrible 5. Terrible 5. But he does have Topo, which is actually extremely good.
Yeah, because like what can Anthony really do? Like he had to have or
What's cool is
he
like
has to draw like
right.
March and
And actually the Planet Vegeta is really good next turn. it's terrible. It's terrible this instance.
Yes.
But it's very good next turn. Push Crusher Ball is really
yeah,
good too.
it's gonna be great.
Anthony drew into March,
Oh my God. Yep. Oh, okay.
and Danny's on a Crusher.
All right, cool. So Danny's not gonna be pressured here, even though I think it would have been fine. Danny can take a double strike here.
Yeah, I like this. So he's just preserving his life a little bit. Anthony had to tap out though to play that blocker. I mean, to play that ape. I guess he just wanted to draw 2 new cards. Interesting. He can topo this. Topo this, and he gets out this turn unscathed with another threat on board. And draw for the effect. Danny's in a great position right here. This is where he wants to be.
Oh yeah. Now he has
3 attackers that
incoming
can,
threats.
3 attackers, 1 blocker. Now, if you're Anthony, if you're Danny, what do you do here? Do you attack with Goku first, or do you attack with Topo first?
We probably swing with Topo here first because you want.
Well, he drew Kaba, right? So you absolutely attack with Topo first, probably.
Yeah. If you attack with Topo here, you put you put Anthony in the position where he has to block with the Tora and commit to the Tora.
Yeah, he's gonna go get Unbreakable. Yeah. So here he goes.
He
Gets
has
the
to
super
commit to
combo.
the Tora on top, so that's so bad. Usually, like the most ideal scenario, attack with Topo, whatever block the Topo, let my ape die. He cannot let his ape die here. If he lets his ape die here, he just loses because the Topo just restands.
Yeah, because like Anthony's tapped out, you don't have to worry about battering lasers. I mean, you don't have to worry about flying Nimbus, right?
Yes.
So like, I'm just trying to think. Should you attack with Goku first and get an extra card, or should you,
No, it looks like Danny's got this in the bag. Yeah, he has to combo out. I don't know, if I was Danny, I probably would have committed.
Game.
Yep, there you go.
Good
Boom.
game.
Wow.
Danny's showing the
Battering
power, the power of the red.
Zen KO.
The Zen KO.
On the back of the bad ring laser.
I love watching brew decks. It's like
Yeah,
my
it's
favorite
great.
thing. I love it. That's one thing I was hoping we'd see more of, and I think if
You
it would,
just can't. I mean,
You're
like,
right,
it's
yeah.
just so limited.
I know.
Danny had to hit some very good strides down the stretch to get where he's at right now. And,
right.
it's just crazy. Zen KO'd, and the chat's loving it. Chat's going wild.
Yeah, chat's
Who
going-
doesn't like a
chat
good
is-
Zeno?
he
Who
does-
doesn't like a good Zeno?
So I'm gonna type out this for you guys. Chow. Onge.com / DBS Sant Jose.
Yeah, that Zenko.
18.
I mean, Zeno is just fantastic because it's just a huge tempo swing, and Danny was lucky enough to get that chain attack trunks, which was the final piece that he had and needed. I mean, he has, to be fair, he has a few ways of digging for it. I mean, he has Planet Vegeta, which starts to do the chain attack trunks as well, but it's just so good. It just resets the game, and then Mecha can be put on a position where they don't have as much access to their 10Ks. You get an extra draw. And you're already putting a lot of pressure on your opponent, and they're already taking like majority of their life to their hand.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already puts you at an advantage because you're always going to be up on life.
It's hard to play around too.
Yes.
It's hard to it's hard to play around.
Yeah,
Chanchak into Zeno with battering back up. Now, does Anthony have battering in sideboard?
That I'm not sure of. But it's going to be interesting if you're Anthony. I don't know. You're scared, kind of. You got to change the way that you play.
Yeah, battering probably pretty difficult for Danny to beat,
No,
honestly.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
very hard to beat battering. But if Anthony does have access to battering, then it might be a little devastating because Danny's going to commit 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, and Anthony just has to commit 3.
Yeah. The good thing is you don't have to pitch the card with battering until after it's resolved.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
that's
So
right,
so
sure,
you
sure.
tap one, you play battering, and your opponent gets a chance of battering. So think that's one I guess positive is Danny doesn't have to pitch 2 cards for nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
True. Oh, so it doesn't work out as bad
Right.
for Danny. But
Right.
It's still something that you don't want to see.
It's still
but-
devastating.
Yeah.
Because the fact he can play it for free is what kills you. You know what I mean? Like you can't. So what Danny's gonna have to do to play around it is he's gonna have to put pressure on his life, and so it's like essentially battering would kill him. You know what I mean? And then
Exactly.
Yeah, essentially exactly what happened that last game. Like you know what I mean? Okay, let me do the scores here. 1-0. All right, so both players taking time. They're just mulligan here, just taking their good time. Also, guys, don't forget. Check out the match on the ARG Circuit Series Facebook page or Facebook group. I'm sorry.
I was watching it not too long ago, actually.
Yeah.
Justin Rios
Justin Rios,
in there.
Fantastic player, just a great player.
Just killing it. No, yeah, but fantastic. Just when I was watching him, he'd opened pretty strongly. He has like the Broly package. He had already resolved the one-drop Broly. So it seemed like it was already going good for him. But best of luck to the last two remaining PPG players. Last remaining KTM. We're seeing them on stream right now.
Actually, what is? I keep forgetting. What is Anthony's? Is it 4 Horsemen or is it like
Four
saved
Horsemen,
or whatever?
yeah,
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
You just wear the saved hoodies, I guess.
Oh, okay. So like, yeah. So the 4 Horsemen actually still have 2 members in Anthony and Eon. So good showing by them as well. East Coast still has a good showing. I mean, what most of the players from East Coast are here, or are they like West Coast? We know. Is it like split or what?
I think, from what I know, because I'm not too familiar with the West Coast faces. I see a lot of East Coast. You know, I still see George Hernandez in there from Bearded. I see another gentleman.
Fantastic player, by the way.
Yeah.
Fantastic player from Bearded.
From Bearded. I forgot his name, but I think he topped the first regional in Hartford. So you got a pretty solid field still out there.
All right, game going off. Here, Anthony having another extremely fast turn. We see Danny with Zeno in hand, part of the combo. Unfortunately, Danny's combo is essentially a 3-card combo. You need chain attack, you need Zeno, you need battering. One is searchable.
Other two, not so much.
Yeah, other two, kind of like a draw.
Yep.
Also, another thing about this deck that can really get you is Goku's ability. Sometimes can put some cards in your energy that you don't want to see there.
Yeah. That is Danny. Danny and I were talking about it earlier on our interview, which if you guys missed, is going to be on the PPG YouTube page. So definitely check that out. Dusty was gracious enough to let me interview some of the greatest players here, and we talked with Chris Abella, Danny Hype. Don't know who else. We didn't have too much time to interview too many people yesterday. We were going into at the beginning. We were good. I was stuck in a Bandai meeting, but so I wasn't there for like half of it. But otherwise, we're going to try to get some people in today. But we actually have a planned finals time, which is the first time Bandai actually just wants to come and just watch the finals. They want to sit and they want to be a spectator. And these guys are going to be playing not only in front of 200 plus viewers online, but the head honchos of Bandai. And it's going to add some added stress, some added nerves, and we're going to see what hopefully is a very epic final, because this is the final of the largest Dragon Ball Super Regional ever.
Talking about some bad situations that can happen. He got a Piccolo in energy off the ability.
Oh, jeez.
And has 2 Zenos in hand.
That is really bad.
Not where you want to be.
Not where you want to be, because Danny actually does not play any blue cards. Like, the only thing is 2 combo pieces. So, obviously the Piccolo, which you need for the super combo, and the Zeno, which you just need for part of the combo. Right. And that's funny. We were about to bring up the whole like stream thing and Bandai being here and like us like trying to do this phone thing, and then
Trash lady
comes back.
I don't know much about it, but
and that's crazy because I got so like caught up in saying something else that I just didn't mention it, and then it just happened to just pass by anyways. It's just like they almost had us on cue. But anyways, so Danny, a very, 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 very tough start, but we're gonna see, because Anthony just resolved a March of the Apes, albeit for 1 ape, which is crazy because he's playing the above average number
he is.
of
He's
apes.
playing above average. It's like both players having a little bit of unluck here, or unluck. What the? Have a little bit of bad luck.
Misfortune.
Yeah, a little misfortune
yes,
striking here, as it turns out.
So yeah, and it's crazy because like at the beginning streams we were just like, oh yeah, no, these. I mean, like, I guess this is just how Mecha draws. I talked to Scotchy. He's like, oh yeah, I always resolve March for 2. I'm like, I don't. I mean, you must be hitting like some type of like abnormal amount of luck if that's happening consistently. Like it's not something that should be happening at the rate that we've been seeing, at least.
What's scary here is Danny has to hit 2 more red energy to be able to play Trunks.
Yeah, no, that's Well, yes. The main I guess bottleneck here is Danny has to have triple red. So normally you would like to play a chain attack on 4, and because of Goku's ability, he's gonna have to be forced to play it no earlier than turn 5. So there's situations there, and then you're just bottlenecked on the cards in your hand. Like, you could only charge a red card. So like, sure, you might have drawn like a dead, whatever the case is, but like you have to charge a red, you know. And
Absolutely.
it's just like charge red, charge red, charge red, and that's where that determined Son Goku actually puts in double-sided amount of work. You know, for one, it cycles through your cards. 2, it's just a great energy because it would have just been another card. So it's a cycler. You know, it's good, just like when you charge Majin Buu sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so Anthony might just be waiting for King Vegeta, but King Vegeta, surprise, surprise, does actually do nothing to Zeno, because Zeno does stop all abilities on board.
Yep.
Does not choose, does not say anything like that. So Zeno not caring about the setups that Mecha Apes sometimes make this unbreakable board, as it seems.
Right.
You know, Yu-Gi-Oh terminology, I guess, where you can just have an unstoppable offensive and defensive force. So
Ooh, Gohan's a good draw here.
Danny
Bad
does
ring.
not care.
I think he has the whole combo in hand.
The only problem is Danny going down to 3 here.
Yeah, he
and
just, unfortunately, he
that's-
has to.
yeah, and that's
I think what he
exactly-
wants here is a flying Nimbus. If he can get away with it, just to try to stall one more time. If he can stall one more turn, I mean, Anthony's already used 2 March of the Apes. So if Zeno resolves, it's going to be really hard for him to build the board back up.
Yeah.
All right, there's a Kaba. Kind of a dead card. I can imagine Danny probably charging this, but we'll see. Yeah, there's the Kaba charge. Okay. We kind of knew that was happening. Danny's in a good spot, though. Danny, actually, I think he has the entire combo in hand. The thing is, though, does Anthony have bad ring?
That is a question. 350 viewers, guys, breaking records.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys
Almost
so much.
the same amount of people in this room, I would probably assume. And
We really
I
appreciate
wouldn't be
it.
surprised if we get the same amount that entered the tournament today, because that would be extremely,
Right.
extremely exciting.
Danny
Especially when Bandai shows
decided
up
to
for the
attack
finals.
with a Kaba. Interesting play here. I guess he wants to get another card in hand.
Yeah, that is pretty interesting, actually. But Danny's going to have to wait for some negates first, and then, yeah, okay, so. All right. What was that about? Where'd the Kaba go?
It died.
From what?
Don't know.
Don't know.
Oh,
Just
is
instant
it
speed.
Family Son maybe or something? I don't know. Something killed it.
No.
Died
Maybe-
instant speed.
I have no idea.
Drawing Bulma, not a bad draw. It's a good yellow pitch if needed. Oh no, I see what happened. Did Danny just combo with it? Is that what happened? I don't know what's happening. See, that's what I'm saying, guys. I take one chance. No, I think it was I look at the chat one time, now I'm completely lost. That's what I'm saying. That's how fast this game is.
Okay, yeah, comboed Kaba seems
Right. Yeah, I think it was just
100%
combo.
fine.
Yeah, it was just combo. Yeah.
Which is great, because then, like, summoning Kaba in this position is super risky, because your opponent does have game on board.
Anthony playing in a way to me that says he has battering in hand. He's trying to kill Gohan, and I don't know why he would try to kill Gohan unless he knew that he could stop Zeno next turn.
Looks like he wants to get that King Vegeta out, search a monkey, and looks like Danny might just pass here.
Well, it's Anthony's turn now, so I think
it's
Anthony might pass, right? Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Oh, because Anthony was still on his turn. Okay,
Right.
okay. So Danny's going to go and has to charge a red energy here. He has to. Like, there's no
Yeah, that's the only thing he can charge is red
no
energy.
option. Hopefully he has another good red charge, because he threw away the Kaba which was pretty interesting.
Yeah. The scary thing here, though, from Danny at least, is that like your opponent, in my opinion, your opponent's playing in a way, to me, that that tells me that he has battering. And so you have to play around battering, and that's going to be tough. So Dan just passed immediately back.
That's not what you want to see, but Danny has a Crusher Ball. He has some defensive things here. He has double Piccolo.
Yeah, we know it's Anthony's turn, guys.
They're probably just delayed on like what happened.
Yeah, oh, that's true. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's a delay. Yeah. Okay, so here's Crusher Ball. Is there no battering inside? I wish I could see Anthony's deck.
Yeah, no, I did have it pulled up for when
Yeah.
I was like, isn't Tora in his sideboard? But it was Fasha and Tora. And he's actually playing both of them. He's playing one in the main, one in the side.
Right.
But I don't remember seeing Crusher Ball. I mean, Flying Nimbus. The problem is he's sacrificing a lot of main deck spot for family, father-son,
Right.
Kamehameha, and for the extra apes that he's playing.
Oh, so
There's a lot of things that you have to play, obviously. There's
Right.
a lot of things that just take up deck space, and then there's extra cards that, are just personal preference. And Anthony adding in some personal preference here of his own.
ooh, good. Not a bad draw. Not a bad draw. Because how much energy is Danny at? He's at 1, 2, 3. He's at 4 energy. Man. We go 15K into 15K. Draw a card.
Seems like an overall bad position for Danny, but
It does seem bad, but I wish I could see Anthony's hand a little bit better to see if he has battering in hand, because Anthony could easily just lose off battering. I mean, off of the combo. That's what's so scary about Danny's deck is like.
chat's saying that they checked out Anthony's deck.
And he
and
does
that
have battering?
battering.
He does. Okay. I figured he would. I mean, it's a common sideboard card. So that means Danny really has to kind of wait until like turn like 6 to go off, which is much more difficult. And gets these apes. But again, also remember this is the game that Anthony went first. And I think Anthony is favored in this game, so Danny going into game 3 will probably choose to go first, and I think we'll be a little bit ahead too. So I think in this situation, it probably favors Danny in the long run, but we'll see.
Free super combo here for Anthony off the Unbreakable Spirit Son Goku, and Danny's going to respond with some of his own, but he's going to have to pay energy first. And a Piccolo, which we've seen he had multiple of, and it looks like he's going to be stuck with...
I wonder why. Okay, never
He
mind.
has
Okay, I see.
Battering, Crusher Ball, Chain Attack Trunks, Topo.
Right.
Can
Danny-
he even play the Topo? Yeah, he has 2 reds still,
Right.
so he can still play the Topo.
Yeah, Danny doing a good job of like not wanting to take one hit here. He wants to take one of the double strike hits.
No, yeah, he cannot take
Yeah.
he cannot take a single strike hit here, because then the Bardogs are just going to stop him. Unless he could, I mean,
He still has Topo energy up too. Just
he can take one here, and then just. But the only attacker Anthony has to have left is one Bardock, but then he puts himself at risk.
Right.
Anthony battering, and it's game over.
Right.
Which I'm sure Danny saw the battering in the sideboard. I would be surprised if he overlooked that.
I agree. Danny has to protect himself from this.
Yeah, Anthony's going to
Anthony
take this
doing
opportunity to
Anthony's
push.
doing
Yeah, he
a
has to push.
masterful job pressuring this 3 life though.
Yes.
He's wanting to hit the 1 life.
What's good, he has the Shigesh and the King Vegetas, and he has to just use them offensively.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a lost opportunity if he didn't. And that King Vegeta, extremely good now, because not only is it another 5K combo, it actually gets him another 10K from his deck to use. And Anthony's got to know that, if this this chain attack Zeno does resolve, all his advantage will be lost, so he's just got to use it on his turn.
Right. The thing is, Anthony's entire hand's like essentially free. with this King Vegeta in play. And so like the scary thing again with this ape deck is its all-in potential is actually extremely high once it gets King Vegeta ape on the field. So Danny just can't afford to take one of these hits. He just can't afford it. If he takes it, then he's in a terrible spot. Like he can just swing with double strike and dump his whole hand and easily go up to like 100-some thousand and like just take Danny out. So
Yeah, good question. I don't know why Anthony still has Father-Son Kamehameha in his main board.
I don't know.
It actually has like almost 0 targets in Danny's deck.
So Danny's gonna take it. And here comes Anthony with the, like you said, with the all-in, with the Bardock. This is almost definitely going to be. This is almost definitely going to be hundreds of thousands of damage coming through.
Well, almost most definitely.
Yeah, almost. I mean, it's like he has like freaking 32 cards in hand, and they're all free. You know, like it's so scary. Yeah, I think I see at least 5 apes in hand, like 3 of them being Vegeta, so he just keeps gonna miss off of that. Another Vegeta. Gonna look at the top 3 again. Another Vegeta. Okay. Whiffs again. So this is up to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80,000? 85?
I mean, if I was Danny, I think I would have just negated the first attack, no?
Yeah, I mean,
Because
the thing
then
is, if
you just put him on like swinging with the second ape, because here he could just combo with that Bardock on board. Yeah, which he's gonna do right here. Yeah, exactly. So essentially, it would have been 10k less, you know. But I don't know if there's anything else that Danny can draw. Yeah, no, he can't.
well, I think if you
just
negate the
scoops
first
up.
one, you have to tap out, so you just lose.
You have to, yeah,
Right,
you do
right.
have to.
So you
tap
lose
out,
either way. Yeah.
But I mean, like whatever. At least your opponent has like 10k left. I mean, like 10k.
Maybe Danny gets lucky here and gets like Unbreakable and Unbreakable in the Piccolo or something that can maybe beat it.
I mean, he had
There's
one
probably a higher
Piccolo
chance of that, right?
One Piccolo in energy, another Piccolo, and that he had used. I think another 2 Piccolos he's used. So I think he only had access to maybe like 1 more. But regardless, it was a really rough game. Anthony just started off with pressure. He went first.
Yeah.
He had a pretty good sequence of events, and
Again,
now Danny's going to be going first again.
You're
so.
seeing the problem with Mecha, and the problem with Mecha here is that it just gets so many cards in hand. It just has so many cards, and like so you have to battle through so much. And it's in a good. It has its ability, its defensive ability is so good because it can play like its answers for free. You know, like it can play Battering for free. It can play Nimbus for free. It can play all these like cards like Cold Bloodlust for free, Crusher Ball for free. Play all these like really powerful extra cards just for free, with tons of cards in hand. So. And
Yeah,
apes,
it really makes it hard for your opponent to make a read on what you have.
It
and what
does.
you
It
don't
does.
have.
It makes it very tough, and it's also really scary because, like, essentially, once they get the King Vegeta in play, literally, like, almost their entire deck is free. Like, all their extra cards are free, all their combo cards are free. You know what I mean? And it's really tough to like, get back into the game. Also, Danny having a really weird start too, getting a blue yellow off of his energy as well. So yeah.
No, that was super awkward.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he got a yellow and a blue.
Yeah.
Where even like a blue and a red would have been better in that scenario.
Right. Ooh,
Giving Mecha an extra turn is usually like it can be as bad as giving them an extra like 5-6 cards, depending on what their sequence of plays is. Because the March is already 2 cards, one for, another 2 for the March of the Apes.
Danny has
and
actually
have a leader swing and all that stuff.
a really, really, really good hand if he gets 2 red here. Red and blue.
Not bad.
Unfortunate. I could expect Danny to possibly play the 1 Kaba in hand right now and pass. I don't think Anthony has any way to kill it. The next turn you can double swing with Kaba and just awaken.
I mean, that's fine. That's where the Jackalus comes in, and you're like, do they play Sun Goten? But
Right.
I don't see him,
I would imagine,
playing
right?
Sun Goten
What's
against
like
Danny.
what
Is
like
Danny
what's
even
this
playing
does
a-
father son get it?
No,
Right. Okay.
no. Father Son, it has to line up or the card that you have to play has to be more more
energy you
cost
have, right?
than your energy.
Right.
More cost than your energy, yeah.
I think Danny's taking a chance to think. I think he does. I think he goes Kaba, pass. Next turn, he goes Kaba, attack you. But it's also possible he just draws a red and can play both next turn. I don't really see a reason to do that.
I really hope Anthony actually sided out those Father Sons because
They seem like the worst card in the deck,
no, it
easily.
is, and he's just charging it. Like the last game,
Right.
he charged like 2 of them. It's like, how do you not
They're
know after
green
that
too.
game
They don't
just
really
to
do
take
anything
it
with
out?
the yeah.
No, green energy. What are you gonna do with green energy, bro?
You're right. Yeah, it seems a little weird. Right now, it looks like the players are just kind of talking, just chatting right now. Well, let me go see what's up. Their players are taking.
Yeah, it looks like the players have paused gameplay, so not exactly sure what's going on here. But maybe a little bit of suspense going into Game 3 here. We're gonna find out. We have Dusty coming back with the 411. What's up, man?
Actually, pretty cool. We were talking about it. So obviously we see in Danny's hand he has a Kaba, that's double Kaba. And what we talked about is like, yeah, let's play Kaba out for 1, pass. Probably doesn't have no way to kill it. Pass back, player side Kaba awaken. Well, Danny's like, what exactly does Father Son Kamehameha say? And so he's asking the judge if he's allowed to ask that information.
Yeah.
He's allowed to ask what it does because that's the card he's afraid of too.
Yeah,
Right.
That's funny. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So it's actually funny to say.
double check, yeah,
right.
yeah.
He wants to double check.
That's
So we
awesome.
were just talking about that. So.
That's great.
Again, we talked about it. I talked about last game. I talked about this one too. That's why these players consistently talk, because they're always thinking, what can beat me right now?
Yeah,
What do I
what
need to
can
play
be-
around?
ask the
Right, and they ask
questions,
questions.
like,
Right, they
you
ask
know,
questions. They have no problem doing
I'm
that.
afraid to be like, what exactly happens here?
Right,
You know?
right.
Like, what? I mean, it should be public knowledge from what I know. Like the
It
ruling.
is, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's. I mean, obviously, I think that's probably what happened. That's why Danny decided to play
Should be
it.
allowed to pull up the
right.
Oracle text and
Look
should
at
be
it,
good
right.
on it. But yeah, after Danny knowing that that card does nothing to him,
Right.
and still questioning himself probably, like why does Anthony still have this in his main board?
Anthony could sniff this out though and just choose to pass here. Like if I'm Anthony, do I try to quick awaken here? Like what do I get out of it?
Yeah, no, of course you could ask about a card outside, yeah.
Yeah. But if I'm Anthony, right? Like do you just pass? Like you don't need to awaken yourself, right? Because like there's a call on film that tells me that like Danny might be trying to awaken next turn.
No, yeah, that would be sweet. Turn 2 awaken from Danny.
Oh yeah.
Just put on the pressure.
Thing is, like Danny's in another situation where I wonder what he's gonna play his energy next turn. His energy's, I don't think he can afford to play. I don't think he can afford to play the King Vegeta. I mean the Planet Vegeta. He needs that to search out for the chain attack. Anthony's actually at 4 energy right now. I mean 4 life. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say, what?
Like
I
a
immediately,
double
like, just-
Kaba attack is actually pretty devastating for Anthony
No,
next
yeah.
turn.
No, it would be really, really bad because not only is that actually lethal, it's gonna get Danny in.
Not only does that kill you, which
Not
is one
only-
negative as it turns out.
as it turns out, just checked in with my boss.
Just checked it. Just Googled it. Dying is bad. Yeah, I mean it is. And it awakens your opponent on turn 2. SS3, the earlier it awakens, the scarier it is.
$29 of the 32 in top 32 were Mecha Frieza. One Super Saiyan 3, to my knowledge, has already been eliminated in Ryan Phillips, top 32.
Anthony
And,
making the smart decision here. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah, no
it's
problem.
important to notice. He didn't attack with Frieza
Ooh.
because he didn't want to put Danny in a situation
Okay.
where he can awaken next turn.
Okay, yeah. So even Anthony acknowledging that is very powerful, and it's a very powerful play. for him to awaken. And Danny's just going to be like, well, I'm just going to have it anyways. And this is actually really interesting how he plays the same combo first. He wants his opponent to Bloodlust here, because if he Bloodlusts, then he goes leader attack, then double strike, instead of just like double strike out the gate, you know, blah, 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 all this stuff. So you're going to see a cold Bloodlust off Anthony's hand, skyrocketing. It does put him in danger zone, but it's not going to stop Danny from attacking here. Danny has to attack here.
My question is, does Danny have... We know Anthony runs Mass Saiyan, right? Mass Saiyan can stop Danny from awakening next turn?
Yes. Yeah, Mass Saiyan might be a very big swing, just
how many
because...
cards are in the drop here? I think at least four, I think?
Not only does it take 2 cards, but it also is a double striking threat.
Right.
So it can actually put Danny from 5 to 3, and Danny's going to be in the same position that he was put in game 2, which, you know, at 3 life is just not ideal, especially when they have so many double strikers in Anthony's
Danny
deck.
choosing to charge chain attack trunks too in the energy. It's a Piccolo. Not a bad draw. $15K. We're going to see like a Shigesh here into... All right, so that's unbreakable. 10K draw. Danny's going to pass. Does Anthony have a way to... I don't think Anthony can stop the Awaken. It's funny how Kaba, you know, from set 1, still one of the only set 1 cards, you know, like... We've seen a lot of set 1 cards being staples, but Kaba's one of those cards that's just fantastic. I love that card. It's such a simple card too, you know? Attack, take a card from my life, do something cool. And it's just... I cannot get it. Maybe it's because Anthony has like double, like he has sleeved. But it always looks like Anthony has so many cards in hand. It always looks like he literally has a million cards in hand every time. So Anthony's actually going to take a life to March. Anthony's actually going to take a life to March here. So he's at 2 life. That means both these Kabas are lethal. He's going to go Vegeta. Double Vegeta off of that is obviously, you know, what Anthony wants to do. Puts the most pressure on Danny here. You know, two single strike critical attackers that ready at the end of your turn, pretty good.
That's going to be huge for Anthony. And if you're Anthony, you have no option but to awaken Danny yourself, because if not, Danny's just going to do it for you with the Kabas. And
with cards that can kill you.
Yeah.
Right.
So ideally, Anthony wants to put Danny down as close to 2 as possible, just because then Danny will only have 1 Kaba, even 1. You know, if you can put him at 1, fantastic. I don't think Danny will let himself get to 1, especially with like 2 ready energy still up. But if you can, that'd be great, because then the Kabas, like 1 Kaba becomes dead, and you know, if you put him at 1 life, obviously like 0, you know, they're both dead. But
yeah, the thing that was weird about this is if Anthony knocks Danny to 4 life, we do know that Danny does have Piccolo in hand. This is probably going to go into Kaba, right? Yeah. All right, so 15K into 5K. And Danny just lets that die.
Yeah, not sure how I feel about that, to be honest.
Gets battering off of the life. That's a part of the combo.
Yep.
Part of the part he needs is Awaken.
See, I don't think I like this play by Anthony. I don't think the Mecha Frieza should have gone after the Kaba, because if you put your Danny down low enough, I think you probably should have saved that attack for last.
Okay.
Know? Like he's like, save it for last. Like, see how it plays out, and then, you know, make your decision from there, because your opponent's always going to have access to that 1 standing Kaba anyways.
Danny actually has some interesting sequence of plays here. He draws, so he does have the Nimbus.
Yeah. As far as like take backs and like playing cards, as soon as you play the card on the table and you make your hand leave from the card, especially like when you're entering. Usually, if you get technical with it and you actually like bring it up to a judge, like, you can go ahead and force that. But it ultimately is up to your opponent on whether, like, if they just let you take it back. Usually it's fine, especially with two very competitive players that know each other.
Yeah, sure, of course, yeah.
But you do see it in tournament play sometimes. Like, yeah, sure, that is a thing when you put down a card and then you leave your hand from it. That's just the action of you doing the play, and you're not like it's not in your right to get a take back from your opponent or from the judge. But if they allow it and there's no problem with it, then you can go ahead and do it for the most part. So I think that's what Danny did. Great sportsman.
Oh,
I think Danny's one of the best in the game for sure.
These players
so
are.
he just did around.
Right.
He's like,
That's one thing I love about this game. There's very little rule sharking that ever happens in these matches that I've ever seen.
No,
I've never seen.
Completely different community, one of the best.
Right.
That I've seen and I've been a part of, and I've commentated for Yu-Gi-Oh. I've hosted large Magic events, large DBS events, large Yu-Gi-Oh events, large Pokemon events, and as communities, very unique in a good way.
Right.
But yeah, there's definitely an argument against it. You got to be on top of your game. You got to be focused, and you can't be playing sloppy, because that is technically sloppy play. So is this a fearless ban down for Danny?
Yeah, I think he just put it down to make use of his energy. He just wants something else on the board.
Okay, that's
gives him a
interesting.
blocker too.
It currently does not give anything boost or double strike, right?
No.
Okay.
It only works on red cards and leaders,
So
and it
that's a
doesn't.
really
It doesn't
unique
affect
play.
itself.
That's a really unique play. Maybe Danny's also playing it as defense because it is a blocker. It's a barrier blocker, which a lot of people don't realize, and they kind of like put that to the side because they're just so overwhelmed, by its auto ability, which is very strong. But Danny taking this opportunity to get a Planet Vegito, which is going to get him a combo piece, because we do know that he has a Zeno in hand, but I know for sure he has a battering. Does he have the Zeno?
Yeah, he doesn't have Zeno, but he does have
the
battering.
battering.
Yeah, and I think that's what Danny was doing there. He was trying to take some time looking through his deck, see where it is.
Okay, to see if he still has maybe.
See if maybe he needs to take some hits here, or what he needs to do to try to get this card in his hand.
He almost had 400 viewers.
Oh, dude, guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, I want to apologize for the quality. It's definitely not KitchenTableMeta quality, but again, we were forced to use the Wi-Fi here. I think we're going to try to sneak. I'm checking out make sure the trash lady is here, but I think we're going to try to sneak and do the phone for the finals.
She
just pops out from underneath the desk. She gotcha.
Yeah, we actually just looked around. Dusty took a full take.
Because I'm like
left to right.
I'm pretty sure she's watching. She's watching all of our moves. But yeah, I think we can probably get away with doing it for that. We're going to at least try our best to. We don't want bad quality for the finals.
Quality's decent. So the quality has gotten a little bit better ever since we put up the bit rate. So
it is getting later in the day too. As it goes on, people stop using their phones. People start leaving, going to catch their flights and stuff. You're going to get better internet, absolutely. But still,
I think the event that was by ours started a little bit earlier,
right.
and they're pretty much like done, or maybe they're out to lunch or something.
But it's really important. Like, again, I can't stress enough. That's just not our quality.
Better than yesterday? What?
Oh, really? Cool. I thought yesterday actually we got,
I thought yesterday
we
was
got
great.
to like 800.
We didn't get. Well, maybe people just were like not complaining about it, or like.
Well, that's true. That's true. It's also possible that like the person who said that didn't watch it later in the night. They just watched it at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, true.
Because it is actually better than this time yesterday, as far as bit rate goes.
Oh, okay.
Santhi attacking for 20k critical, and Danny's going to block. We're going to see Shugesh into probably King Vegeta here. Yep. All right, guys. So we're probably going to see an evolve here, I would imagine. The problem is, if Anthony taps out to evolve this, he's very open.
Then Danny just wants to get a swing in and then just like put
he
Anthony in a
could
position where he can't just batter.
Right. So it's not the worst. Like him taking a life to Cold Bloodlust or to battering anything is actually not bad. Like, it's actually not the worst position, especially, like I said, if Anthony's tapped out here. So Danny could actually put enough pressure on Anthony where he forces a battering off a life and goes to 1 life. Because actually he can't. Yeah, this is actually perfect for Danny. Danny just
No, he can't, yeah.
Yeah, Danny just plays it, and he has to Cold Bloodlust it.
Wow, he just played a Planet Vegeta going down to 1.
That means that Danny just hasn't had any wins, right?
Yes. Well,
Interesting.
granted that the Zeno doesn't give him the most awful hand.
Right, sure.
we've
Yeah,
ever
I'm just saying, like,
seen.
in theory, right?
It's spinning the wheel.
Right.
It is. But the chances, because the way that the deck is obviously constructed from Danny's side, it shouldn't be the most awful chances of getting a playable hand.
Danny has multiple Nimbus in hand, too. It's like, Danny doesn't even have to do it this turn.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he uses it next turn.
The thing is, you want to take this opportunity while Anthony's tapped out.
Yeah,
because
of course.
then Anthony's
yeah.
going to keep the.
But that
he's
pressure
gonna be
is always
smart
on
enough-
Anthony
yeah,
now
yeah.
to be like,
But
I have to keep like at least 1 or 2 yellow open every time.
I do not understand though. Like, a flying Nimbus has to be like flying out of his hand right now. Well,
I think Danny's going to take
Actually,
this
he
hit. And, I think
Actually,
there's
he doesn't. Yeah,
I think
because
there's a
you're
Zeno
right.
in his hand.
You're right.
And I think there's a Zeno in his life.
Well,
I think Danny's going to take this.
The thing is, yeah, you give him the opportunity to do just that right there, which is combo on the leader. Normally, if you would have like flying Nimbus this, then he attacks with the Absolute King, right? And then you're fine. If you're Danny, you're fine. You take the 2 life. I mean, you can take the 2 life. You know, I would. Well, actually, he has a combo already, right? He has a Zeno. If he doesn't have the Zeno,
doesn't
then
have the
you
Zeno.
dig,
I
then
think
you
he's trying
dig
to
for
find
it.
it.
Yeah, then you
But
find
I think
it.
it's in
Yeah.
the life. I think because he looked through life. I think there's 1 Zeno in
Oh, he
deck.
looked through the deck.
There's 1 Zeno in deck. And I think he runs
Okay.
3. So I think the other one's in life.
So 1 in the energy, 1 in the deck, and you think 1 isn't in the life?
I think so. I think
So
one's
if it's in the life, then.
So I think if you're down, I think you might take this hit.
Yeah, no, I think.
And
I
you
think
just-
it would have been better
Or
for him to just
if you
take
take
this one.
if you take this one, you have a an 80%. Is that 80% chance to hit it?
Yeah.
If it's in your life. I think it is, but I guess he went through his deck so fast, I didn't get a chance to really look into it. But
There's a few different ways. I would have wanted to take the double strike first, so that's why I would have Nimbus the leader, and then made Anthony go all in on the double striker, and then that also would have let Anthony not do this Shigesh combo on the leader. He would have had to wait with the Absolute King Vegeta, and on that one, you're okay if Anthony combos up to like 30 or 35 or whatever, because as Danny, you're gonna take the 2 life anyways.
yeah,
you know?
I honestly I think Anthony's just doing a good job here. Like, he's actually doing a good job like getting cards out of his hand,
Yep.
so he doesn't lose that many cards. Like, he's just trying to put pressure on Danny here to like make it worth it.
Yes. I think he knows that,
Well, I mean,
this is looming. This is
right,
a looming
yeah.
threat that can.
This is
that
definitely
most likely gonna happen
the
next
most
turn.
aggressive play Anthony could have done.
Yeah. Danny's just really hoping for the harder cards here, though. He needs his Zeno.
If he tops next Zeno, I think he wins. Again, it's gonna be on like double harder cards, right? Because he takes
gonna
it.
take one.
Is it Zeno? No.
Chain
Chain
attack.
attack.
charge on
Chain
the
attack. I think he already had the chain attack. Maybe, or maybe it was the other way around. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. All right. This is actually shaping up good because Anthony's actually attacking with the King.
So he can
Vegeta.
take this too. That's what you're saying. Go to 1 life.
He can if there's no Champa and Anthony's 65 total, like main board and
right.
sideboard, which that's not.
Well,
No
he's tapped out.
information
He's
for you
tapped out.
right
He
now?
can't play Champa.
Oh, okay, true.
Right.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
And Champa's not a Saiyan, so
True.
he can't play it for free off the King Vegeta. But Anthony still does have live 10k combos,
Yes.
like this one right here.
So do you just take this and then?
No,
negate?
100%. I take this and then I negate the next attack.
There's nothing you can play out for free, right? You can't
Yeah.
Shigesh into something else.
Because Danny's trying to fish for life.
Wait. He could though, right? He could. If I'm Dan thinking about this, he could attack with it, grade 8, Shigesh into another King Vegeta, and then try to kill you with that.
Oh, that's right.
It's kind of unlikely, but it's definitely something that you might want to play around.
If he plays the Shigesh here, but if he doesn't do it here, he just negates the next attack and then he's good. Because then he has nothing
Yeah.
to.
That's what I'm talking about. Because like it could put Dan in a weird. Because
Oh yeah.
Danny can only
Anthony
negate
has
one.
another one, which he.
Right.
So far, it doesn't look like it, and he has a lot of cards in hand. But he's gonna look at the top 3 with the King Vegeta combo, or the Prince Vegeta combo. I'm sorry, and he's gonna see if he can find an ape, and he does not, or chooses not to.
This does not feel like overly aggressive by Anthony. I'm just like, what is he like? Why would he go to 1 life? Is he just making Danny have it? He's like, I'm gonna give you 1 turn to have it, I guess. It's possible Danny Piccolo's here. Piccolo takes the hit. Right? You just see 2 new cards.
Not sure why Anthony's comboing so hard here. I think he just knows that he's losing the cards.
Zeno. There it is. There's the Zeno, baby. Off the top. Freaking 80% chance it got there. There it is. Oh, my goodness. We got to whisper because we can't be.
Yeah, no, we can't.
I'm in a headlock right now.
Nothing happened.
There it is. There it is.
We're all good.
Okay, we're fine. We're just
Everything-
commentating.
We're fine. Yeah. No, this is
Zeno,
no
that's
big
not
deal,
big.
right?
That's
I
not
mean,
big.
the chances of
Yeah,
Zeno
that's not
are
big.
really high anyway. So, like, it's not even a big deal. Like, whatever.
Off the top.
Wow.
Guys, this is why it's so important to know where your cards are. This is why it's so important to know where your cards are.
And Danny must be having a hard time containing his excitement because there's like 6 or 7 people just crowded around the stream table, and I can guarantee the nerves and tensions are to its peak. But they are having a good time. They are having a good time. They're laughing. They're laughing.
Here's
back and forth.
Here's what happened. Danny flying Nimbus that attack, and Anthony just started laughing because he knows crap.
Uh-oh. I'm tapped out. I got 1 life.
Because here, Danny doesn't have the battering here. Danny doesn't have the battering. He also doesn't have to dig with his leader. So he actually gets 2 leaders, 2 attacks off the 1 attack.
Yeah, it's over. It's so great. And Danny's doing this on curve, guys. On curve. Like, that's the earliest he could have gotten 3 energy. And it's just going off.
Here it is. Okay.
Interesting how he chooses to leave a yellow open. Because he has 2 life, so he can actually still
play Kaba.
Play a Kaba,
yeah, it is very interesting. Is there any reason to keep a yellow open I can think of? I don't think so, right?
Planet Vegeta, Youthful Bulma. That's it.
Okay,
that's all I know.
but you Planet Vegeta, but you can't get anything from the Planet Vegeta, right? Because the only thing you can get is like because you cost 1 to play.
Yeah, well,
so Kaba's probably right.
You can get something on the defensive side, or maybe you can just get a combo piece like Planet Vegeta into a 5K. So you can,
because here's the thing too. Like Danny doesn't have to win this turn. This is like he has put Anthony in a situation where he doesn't have to win.
Yeah.
Right? Because like Anthony would have to tap out to play 2 apes next turn.
Yeah.
Right. So this is definitely not a. It's game 3. I think Danny's a little favored right now. Danny's just a little.
Resolving a Zeno.
He just resolved a Zeno. Anthony's at 1 life. So let's see what the 5 on top are. Let's see what the 5 on top are.
Let's see what destiny is being handed out today.
Danny needed the harder
to both
cards.
players.
He got a harder cards stage 1.
Oh my God, a bad ring. That's bad. Okay, he's got a Youthful Bulma. Okay, he's got a Topo.
That Topo is really good.
Yeah, no, look, he got a Youthful Bulma, so he has something that he can actually play and draw. Maybe draw another 5K, and that just extends his combo, and that's what he needs. But Anthony, he's got to hope.
He got the thing. Draws a card. Is it Piccolo? No Piccolo. He can still combo with that though.
Okay, I think he's just gonna go all in here.
Yeah, because he still has backup. He still has freaking Topo, so you're fine. Game.
Oh, and Danny
Heart of
gets
the cards.
It, and it's just so
and sometimes
devastating.
Sometimes the heart of cards is in your favor.
Yes.
And that's
sometimes Yukimoto lives on, passes through card games.
Fantastic.
Sometimes Peter's little flick passes on, and it's just like.
Interesting stat here. Anthony Hernandez has never been a member of KitchenTableMeta. Seriously, it's never happened.
No way. Yeah, that's right. I've seen memes
and we
about
troll him all the time about it. And there was his chance right there, and it was.
Wow, that is incredible.
Honestly, but I can't stress enough how fantastically both Anthony and Danny played that game.
Yeah,
I love watching these high-level games. Top 16.
I don't know. I just really don't know about that Anthony play because think about it. If he was at 2 life, if he was at 2 life, like let's just put it into like perspective. Yeah, that was very ambitious for I don't know what.
But
reason.
what happened there? But what happened there though is like Anthony attacked with his leader, and didn't get Nimbus. So I think he just said, okay, he doesn't have it, and so he went the route of I'm going to kill you this turn.
Okay.
And since Danny held Nimbus, that's why whenever he attacked with a double striker and Danny Nimbus, like Anthony just smiled at him because he's like, okay, you got me. You know what I mean? You baited me essentially. Yeah. I mean, I might be wrong. I guess I don't know.
I think you're right.
How much more time do we have in round? I wonder if it's possible for you to get an interview with Anthony.
That would be great. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
that was super hype.
We can do something like that. Let me go see
how much time. Yeah, because I think they're still playing the top 32 over there. But that was literally great, and I really want to get Danny in here because that was super hype. Everybody in the chat just losing their minds. We were kind of just like trying to not lose our minds so much here, but we were still losing it. But it was great. It was so fun, so exciting, so hype. But wow, and that's a Super Saiyan 3 deck moving into top 8.